Ever question whether your dog actually loves you or if it's just the treats you're giving? You're not the only one. For years, scientists have been investigating whether our dogs truly feel affection for us. It turns out most agree on these 7 signs, and some might surprise you. Let's dive into number 7. Ever notice how your dog seems to have eyes for you, unless of course there's a juicy steak on one side and you on the other? Tough choice, right? Well, in the grand hierarchy of love, you're pretty high up there, just maybe a tiny bit below dinner. So, here's where it gets interesting. Studies show that some dogs actually get more joy from a hearty "who's a good boy" than from a delicious meal. Yep, that's right. For some pups, praise is the ultimate treat, while others require the perfect blend of affection and snacks. So, what about your dog? Does it prefer a good belly rub or a tasty morsel? I know what you're thinking. Your dog would probably trade you for a slice of bacon, and you might be right. But remember, it's those quiet moments, when the bacon crumbs have settled and your pup curls up beside you, that truly say, "I love you" in dog language. If your dog snuggles up after a feast, it's their way of saying, "You're almost as awesome as my kibble." Stay tuned for number 6 as we uncover another surprising way your dog might be showing love, one that involves a whole lot of yawning. But before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like our video and subscribe to our channel. It costs nothing and makes a huge difference to us. So please click the subscribe button. Perfect, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. You heard that right. Not every yawn is created equal in the dog world. While we might yawn out of boredom or tiredness, dogs often yawn to relieve stress or calm their excitement. But if you've ever caught your dog yawning right after you do, it's not just a coincidence. There's actually a heartwarming reason for it. When your dog mirrors your yawn, it's not because they're tired, it's a sign of deep empathy. Your dog is showing they're in tune with your feelings, speaking the unspoken language of love. And it gets even more fascinating. Studies show that dogs are more likely to catch a yawn from their beloved owner than from a stranger. That's right, your yawn is special to them. Stick with us, because we're just getting started. Let's get into the next one, though it might be a bit controversial. Number 5, roughhousing like a bad boy. Imagine this. Your dog bursts into a full-blown, tail-wagging, over-the-top freak-out the moment you walk in the door. While it might not be your idea of a good time, especially when you're all dressed up and nowhere near ready for a tumble, this is their way of saying, "I adore you." Of course, it's important to set some ground rules. No one wants a chaotic free-for-all that ends with a shredded couch. When your dog gets bitey, try engaging them with a toy they can destroy. In fact, if your dog brings you their drool-covered ball or squeaky toy, it's not just about playtime. They're entrusting you with something valuable. It's a sign of immense trust and affection, a way of saying, "You're my person, and I want to share everything with you." Even if everything happens to be a slightly soggy rubber chicken, they're not just asking for attention, they're inviting you into their world, letting you be part of their joy. And who knows, letting loose and joining the fun could be just the stress reliever you didn't know you needed. After all, who can resist the charm of a dog eager to play? Just when you thought your bond couldn't get any more heart-melting, here's number 4, freaking out when you get home. Ever wonder why your dog goes absolutely bonkers when you walk through the door, even if you're just a little late? Scientists are painting a fascinating picture of what's going on in your dog's mind every time you leave. To them, when you walk out, it's like you're setting off on an epic quest for food, just like their ancestors did. So, when you're a few minutes late, it's not just about you being behind schedule, it's concern for their beloved pack leader. And when you finally return, it's a celebration worthy of a warrior coming back from the hunt. That whirlwind of joy? It's not just because they're happy to see you. It's a deep sigh of relief that you've made it back from the wilds of the outside world. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a trip to the grocery store, not a safari, but to your dog, it's a dangerous expedition where anything could happen. That tail wagging, that jumping, even the slobbery kisses, they're not just signs of happiness, but of a profound sense of relief and affection. They're not only glad you're home, they're thrilled you're safe and sound. If that's not love, I don't know what is. But stay tuned, there's more. Moving on to number 3, offering up their head. If your dog eagerly nudges your hand with their nose, it's not about asking for a snack. This gesture is much more meaningful. It's like a friend offering you a comforting pat on the back, silently saying, "Hey, I'm here for you." It's one of the sweetest expressions of affection your dog can give, and there's more. This gentle nudge could also be their way of asking you for a pat on the head. Common belief says that dogs view a hand coming over their head as a threat, an invasion of their personal space. But when your dog willingly lets you pat their head and you see them close their eyes in bliss, it's a powerful sign of trust. In the canine world, that level of trust is not given lightly. If your dog allows you to do this, you're not only a good owner, you're a treasured member of their pack. Let's talk about something even more intriguing. You might think, my dog rolls over for a belly rub, like I'm the boss, but then goes off to steal my socks. The infamous sock heist. It's not just mischief. There's a reason behind this madness. Your clothes, especially worn items like socks and shoes, are saturated with your scent. And in the aromatic landscape of your dog's world, your scent is the most comforting thread weaving everything together. Studies involving MRI scans have shown that dogs' brains activate when they smell their familiar humans. So when your dog curls up with your socks, it's not because they enjoy the bouquet of human scent. It's because your scent brings them comfort and happiness. To them, it's their way of saying, "This smells like my favorite person in the entire world." Now, we're diving into the top sign of dog affection, and trust me, you won't want to miss this one. Especially if you've ever wondered why your furry companion seems to have taken on the role of your personal shadow. Whether you're cooking up a meal in the kitchen or making a quick stop in the bathroom, there they are, right by your side. While you might think they're being a little clingy, in the world of canines, this is their way of showing love. Yes, your four-legged friend isn't being nosy. They're hardwired to be your loyal companion, checking in to make sure you're okay. You might be wondering, is my pup curious? Or is there something deeper going on? Well, it turns out this behavior is deeply rooted in their pack animal instincts. To them, you're the leader, the human member of their pack. So, when they follow you from room to room, it's their way of saying, "I've got your back, no matter where you go." Next time your furry friend sticks to you like glue, remember, it's not only a quirky habit, it's their most sincere form of affection. It's their way of saying, "I love you," without uttering a single word. Speaking of love, ever wonder why your dog chooses to snuggle on your bed? You've set up cozy spots, comfy beds, and countless nooks for them to rest, yet they choose to sleep with you. What does it mean when they pick a specific spot? Near your head, by your feet, or right on your chest? What does this reveal about your bond? Check out this next video where we answer all of these questions. Oh, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and join our dog-loving community.